So literally, as I said, it was going to cut off and did my little baby outro. It was like this file exceeds maximum files. So that's. I hope it got the end. I haven't watched it back yet. I'm just gonna watch them both back at the same time. Um, so yeah, hi, I'm Draco Self Important, and you should listen to me. Um, this is a part two. This isn't gonna make sense if you don't watch the part one. I'm sorry. Uh, so it's like my last interaction with her was horrible. Most of like the dude, like the last thing I said to her was another time of me trying to set down boundaries, because like the thing that stands out most in my life about my relationship with her beyond childhood was me constantly trying to let her know that I was not a puppet. I am not an accessory. I am not some sort of tool for her to use. It is not, was not, never will be my job to be at anyone's beck and call. Like, no, dude. Like, unless I pooped you out, it is not my job to respond every time you whine. And even at that point, there's an age at which that stops too. Like, I'm sorry, your grandmother. Can you, like, be a person? But, like, I'm thinking even back to, like, when I was 21 was really when it became an issue, because prior to that, I was with and or married to my first husband, who was a gigantic fucking mama's boy. Wow. Let's just tell a brief side story about that woman. Yeah, so we're in Florida. We're at Disney. I'm there with my, at the time, soon to be husband. I was like 19 years old. And my soon to be mother in law. And my soon to be brother in law, who's like, I don't know, 14 ish? Young teenager. I don't remember how old the kid was. But he said something about a palm tree being gay. And I'm like, bro, I like, seriously, like, I don't know that palm trees even can be gay. Like, I'm not sure that palm trees are even gendered plants. I don't know how palm trees work. What the? And, and I said, I wish you weren't such a bigot all the time. To which she looked me dead in the eye, my soon to be mother in law, and said, yeah, I'd rather he be a bigot than a smart ass like you. With her full fucking chest, this woman says this to me. Right. So, and my first husband just stood there like a fucking idiot, because that's kind of all he ever did, because he just let her run roughshod over him and tell her anything. And I'm pretty sure that there was some edible shit happening there, because I just do not, for the life of me, understand why in the hell one would behave like that. Anyway, yeah. So I was visiting her weekly when I was with this dude, because he was visiting his mother weekly. And so, because I fucking hated his mother, by the time we actually got married, I had him drop me off at my mother's house, and then he would go hang out with his mother and then come and get me on the way back. So I was seeing this woman weekly. I was talking to her on the phone all the time. When I first moved out here, however, she would call me and I wouldn't answer, and then she would call and she would call and she would call and she would call. Like, this was pre text messaging being a thing, but like I had voicemail. And on more than one occasion, I had to be like, I'm an adult and I'm allowed to be unavailable to you. There's nothing you can possibly need from me on the other side of the country that cannot wait. Nothing. Like, the chances that you are calling me to say goodbye because you've been shot and you're bleeding out are pretty fucking slim. So, like, short of that, what the fuck can't wait until I check my messages? I can't come to you to do anything. Like, what? Like, hello? What? Yeah. And, we had similar conversations because then when I told her when I moved that I would bring her, um, when I got, when we, oh, Jesus. I'm technically an only child. My brother is not my biological brother. And so I said to her that I would bring her to me when there would be grandchildren afoot. Um, and that was a hellscape, and I've talked about that before. But like at that point, it just became different harassing situations, and it's like, can you not worry me? Can you not make me think that they're like, because we've had this conversation, and so now I'm assuming if you're calling me now that you're close enough, and you're calling me in a harassing back-to-back manner, that there's something wrong that I can actually do something about. Oh no, that's not it. Oh, you just want buns for your sloppy joes? Right, like, and so the last fucking thing that I ever said to this woman was like, hi, hello, this is the same conversation we've been having since I was like 18. I am not gonna jump when you say jump. She asked me about rodent cages and gave me less than an hour to answer her before she was harassing my fucking kid about it. The kid who, P.S., wasn't even in the house at the time to talk to me about it because she was with my ex-wife. So it's like you're just generally being the same fucking piece of shit that you've always been. Yeah. But then she calls me about some finance shit, and then a couple days before she died, she called, and I didn't answer, and she didn't leave a voicemail. And she sent a text message to the middle kid when the middle kid did not have access to the phone because, hi, when you're a teenager, your phone's a privilege. Sorry, bro. And, I can read a text message. Like, I don't have to answer a phone for that. And, like, I'm sure someone, you know what I'm saying? There's voice to text. Like, I don't know, man. Because she texted the kids, so she could have texted me to be like, hey, can I but no. Um, yeah, because all she texted to the kid was it's and her name. Uh, I don't know why I'm protecting her. She just texted it's Lynn, and that was it. Like, not hey, I want to talk to you. Not I'm sorry about all of the horrifying fucking things I've said to and about you. Just it's Lynn. And the kid didn't have access to the phone. She didn't see it until after she was dead because the kid was off. You know, being a teenager without a phone. Like, I don't know, man. Like, you can't, like, the oldest left his phone at a fucking doctor's office, like, 3 weeks ago, and it's the doctor he's not going to see again for a while, so we've been emailing. Like, bro, I don't know what to tell you. Like, if you're not going to, figure. Um, yeah. But it somehow puts into perspective the actual loss, which is the loss of my brother. My brother was 32, and died of a fentanyl overdose that I personally believe was intentional. Um, it was 1 year after his baby mama had moved with the kids damn near cross country. They're intended to come back like this summer. I don't know if that's still happening. I don't. She doesn't talk to me. We were not like friends, and at this point, I don't know. Like, I feel like it'd be weird to reach out and be like, "Hey, hi, how's it going? How are your kids? You hate me, and I don't really like you either." Because she always treated him like shit. And it's like I don't. When the kids are old enough to maintain that sort of shit on their own, I cannot be forced into another relationship with another shitty adult for the sake of kids. Like the kids, like I love them dearly. They're sweet kids, but they're not attached to me. I'm more attached to them than they are to me. I would be pushing the issue for my own benefit. There's no need. Um, it's not like they're sitting around going, "What's going on with Uncle Draco?" Like that's not a thing that's happening. Um, oh, so when we were doing our internet things, Draco Stuff Important comes from the Wu Tang Clan name generator, by the way, which is because I love Childish Gambino. That's where that comes from. If I put my name in currently, it gives different stuff, so that's kind of fun. But Ian's was Demon Philosophical, which I kind of love, so if ever I refer to Demon Philosophical, that is the brother. Um, yeah, we had grand plans. We were going to do a podcast. It was going to be about addiction, but I digress. It was July. It was like pretty much spot on a year since the kids left. I think he was initially trying to do it on the 4th of July, but I was staying with my partner who lives like an hour away, so I wasn't going to be home. And he made a point of spending the afternoon with me. Because he was like, "Hey, are you going to be home?" And I'm like, "I'll be home tomorrow." And he was like, "Oh, okay, text me when you're going to be in." And then I did, and he came over. Um, Anytime we went anywhere, like, he would never want to drive his car because he wouldn't want to use the gas. And so we'd always be in it, but I'd always convince him to drive my car. Um, and that day, I was like, "Oh yeah, I gotta pick up crickets for the spider." Rest in peace, Sweet Pea. I no longer have that spider. She was a sweet baby, but legit, I don't know what the hell was wrong with her. She just didn't eat the food as presented at some point and was real skinny when she died. And I'm like, but I gave you food. I don't understand how bugs work. She was an adoption. I had no spider experience. Sorry, don't know what to tell you. At any rate, I had to go to the pet store to get crickets. And the complex that has the pet store has like a bookstore and a grocery store and like so we were gonna do some other shit and like he was like okay, let's go, and we immediately went to his car, not mine. And I'm like, oh, that's weird. And like we went to the stores, and then like the grocery store was the last spot that we hit, and we picked up some stuff to eat and some snacks, and then we went back to my place. I mean, granted, it was, I don't remember if it was something that was microwaved or put in the oven, but he made the food for us. We had dinner together. He bought like this giant almond chocolate bar situation, and he ended up accidentally leaving it here. Oh, backtrack. When we were leaving the grocery store, as we were walking to the car, he said something about feeling human for the first time in a really long time. Um, I've made multiple attempts on my life. Not all of them have been, that makes it sound like there have been a ton. But they haven't all been incredibly well thought out, or planned or what have you. But I know of at least one time that I was like, nope, this is what we're doing. And knowing that your suffering will end can provide you with this sense of euphoria and happiness and relief, and it feels like someone pulled an elephant off your chest. And I mean, it's a false sense because really you're just dropping the elephant on someone else, because no matter who you are, someone will give a shit if you're dead, and they'll probably give a shit a whole lot. Everyone in your life won't, nor should they. That's not how it works. And if you, but I assure each and every one of you out there watching this, if you were to die right now, there is at least one person who would be absolutely devastated and would carry it with them for the rest of their lives. So, like, the relief that one feels when they make that resolution is not like, it's kind of shitty because you're just, oh, I feel so much better. You take it. Like, that's literally like you're just giving your pain away. However, in retrospect, the way that he was talking, yeah. Um, so we had dinner, and then he went and spent time with the only other person in his life other than his kids. So the only other person in his life within physical proximity that he like really gave a shit about. And then he went home and he left his stupid giant almond chocolate bar here. And at this point, I had already cracked it open. And he sent me a message that was like, oh man, I left my chocolate bar and I didn't even get any. And I said, well, maybe it'll be here when you get here next time. Maybe. And he didn't answer me back. And when he left, I said the same thing to him that I always say, and the same thing that I say to the kids, and it's the same thing that I say to all of you. I love you. Be safe. Make good choices. And usually when he left, he would say, I love you, I will. And I swear to you, I didn't catch it at the time. But he said, I love you. But he didn't say, I will. He had a dog who he. This cat is my companion animal and I'm crying. That's why he's immediately like, what's going on, man? He's a 10-year-old cat who I've had since he was a little baby kitten, and we are very much bonded. Um, he had a sweet little dog who has a delightful home now. I'm going to grab a paper towel here because my nose is dripping. Um, yes, yes, Vash, yes. I, at the time that this dog became an option, happened to have some money in my bank account. The dog was a friend's dog in Utah, which is where he was from. The friend couldn't keep the dog. She was a little, like, toy cup Yorkie mix. Like, she's like Yorkie colored, but way pointier in the face and like not as broad in the ears as a Yorkie. Just a very pointy, tiny Yorkie. Um, but friend had this dog, couldn't keep the dog. There was, I think, issues with bigger dogs or kids or some shit. I don't remember, but I was basically like, fine, you have to pay me back, but I will pay for the rental car and the gas so you can drive to Utah and get this stupid fucking dog. He loved that dog. He took that dog everywhere he went. He was the weirdo dude with the tiny pocket dog. Hi, hello. You are not giving me an option. We're snuggling. Okay. Um. Well, and then you fell. I love you. He put the dog out of his room before he smoked. I don't think he would have done that otherwise. If he didn't know exactly what was going to happen, I don't think he'd have put the dog outside. I think that he didn't want her to have to be there for it. Pretty shitty for our friend who was his roommate who had to find him, and pretty shitty that he would fucking, like, I understand the desperation, and I understand the, like, I can't fucking do it anymore of it all, but Jesus fucking Christ, it's the one fucking thing that dude asked when he moved in was to not bring hard fucking drugs into the house, and he over and over and over again, and I'm like, bro, like, I put my name on the line, like, recommending that you live with my friend, and you just keep, like, it's like I get that this is an issue and I get that it's an addiction and I get that, but like, do you have to do it there? Like, do you have zero control over anything that you're doing? Like, I was so mad. I'm still mad because like it's oh my god. Not to mention that particular friend has saved my ass in like so many. Oh my god. Jesus. I don't know, man. So I have the stupid journal that I mentioned in the first thing that I wrote to my brother in for like a month. And then I stopped. And sometimes I think I still should. And I still carry it around because I carry my actual, like, for my own self journal around everywhere. I don't write in it often, usually every couple of months, but like when I feel like I need to, it happens. And it's like, it's a life chronicle. I have a couple of journals. This is the third because since I was married for the second time, I started keeping a journal and I promised to fill that one, and I filled that one and the next one, and now we're on to the third. This is a different project. This is, but I won't start another like regular journal until I fill one, and it literally took me over a decade to fill the last one. Like, that's how infrequently. But I've learned that if I don't have it when I want it, I miss out on opportunities. So I kind of, it's in my bag and I tote it everywhere. And a little shark goes with me too. And I'm sure at some point, I don't know, man. In there, I talked about being concerned about forgetting. And I literally think about him every single day. Jesus. We're like 25 minutes into the second half of this. Like, so we're pushing an hour at this point, and I haven't even gotten to the and this is how we met. Because I got off on a whole ass other tangent. Oh my god. So it was like 2017. I went to my BFF's house, and he had a new roommate move in, some dude that he worked with, and we had a game night, and I sat across the table from this dude, and it was like I found my other half, but not like that. Like, I don't think I've ever connected so quickly with a human in my life. And I've had some really good friends, and I've had some friends that, like, I would throw myself in front of a train for, but, like, there was just something about the way that we understood each other. And, like, we didn't actually become close until, like, 2020, probably. But prior to that, I got him a job where I worked, and it was so nice having him there. Can't tell you how many times I was like, I need a hug. Um, but that, oh God, that job is incredibly stressful. He had a hard time doing it because during the pandemic, we just heard everybody's sob stories all the time. And so then he was missing work. So then, rather than like trying to fix that, he started a second job. And the second job was working at Papa John's. And one of the other Papa John's drivers offered him drugs one day. And down the spiral we went. It had been years since this was an issue. I did not know him in a time when, actual drugs were an issue. When we met, he smoked weed, he drank beer. And that was it. California sober, if you will. Um, he was just a person who, like, was in pain all the time, man. He took on everybody's everything. And it's like, I get it. Oh boy, do I get it. And I see those around me doing it. Like, I literally have never experienced such pain in my life. And I have lost a child. Like, I was 16 weeks pregnant. It was a case of marginal cord insertion, which normally is not like an actual life threatening sort of issue. Essentially, marginal meaning on the edges of the placenta. So it's cord, umbilical cord, like forms on the outer edges of the placenta and can reduce blood flow. And in this particular case, was so very far on those outer edges that she basically just starved. And so, like, the only time my water broke naturally, that's a sound I will never unhear. I'm holding this, should be like a pound, 4-ounce fetus in my hand because she was not getting anything. Like, nothing that she. The fact that I could feel her move at all was a goddamn miracle because she was so fucking small. And I still picture that, and it's still absolutely nothing compared to this. Nothing. Because, like, she was the idea of a person, Like, I didn't get to know her, I didn't get to, I had lots of hopes for her, but little Kevin Jade didn't come to be. But man, the first person that I would go to for anything. Oh, I've got extra food. Wonder if Ian wants it. Oh, I heard about this cool TV show. Wonder if Ian's seen it. Oh, there's this new game I've downloaded. Ooh, maybe Ian will play the game so we could do the multiple. Like, literally everything. Everything, everything. And, like, at first, it was constant. It was everything all day. Everything I thought of. There was never, like, it was just boom, boom, boom. But it's been 9 fucking months, and there's still not a single day that goes by that I don't, like, hear someone say some shit, or, like, it's usually, like, if I have something to give, right? Because I am the sort of person who is broke as a motherfucker. I often am in need of help from others, and so when I have help to give, I instantly am like, I want to take care of my people, you know? It doesn't happen often. But, even little shit like anything, man. Fucking food. Like, hey, I heard about this good deal. Like, no matter what, he's still the first thing I think of. He's the first person I think of. If I need something, it's just fucking crippling, man. We got really close when I was staying with my mother and I was completely suicidal and I just left. And I was messaging because he was living with my friend at the time, still. And no, this must have been 2017. Actually, shit, it wasn't 2020. No, it was like 2017, 2018, 2018. It was 2018. I'm bad at dates. I've mentioned this. Still gonna be bad at dates. Um, it was like Christmas 2018. Yeah, because I ended up spending Christmas Eve morning there with the boys. Uh, we're gonna come back to this. I love you. Be safe. Make good choices. I'll be right back.